Hey everyone, it's James, geometricharts.com, November 14th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. The video is not investment advice. My last video, I talked about Bitcoin being weak, and here we are dropping off a cliff. I did not think it was honestly going to happen today. I thought we were going to kind of drag this process out a bit more, but we did get rejected by the downtrend line, and that caused this swing in pressure. So hopefully anyone watching these videos was not out there riding their trades naked, and they had some stops in place to minimize their risk, or they were just patiently waiting on the sideline. I know I sound like a broken record in a lot of my videos, and I kept talking about this dark cloud looming over the market. Here we have it. We are testing a very key area of support right now, and that's roughly about 5680. The question is, can this area hold? If not, and we start slicing through the mid 5,000 zone on Bitfinex, which is pretty much in line with any tether, then we are going to have some serious problems. Right now, Coinbase is about, let's see, USD is almost $300 difference from Tether at the moment. This market has some serious problems. We have some wild swings up, wild swings down. And if we start taking this area out, the next level of support is the low 4,000 range, like 4,300 for Bitcoin. And based on the symmetrical triangle, again, if this pressure, I don't think we're even at a point of a recovery as we're swinging back up and smashing back through 6,500 over the next, I don't know, 12 hours or so going into tomorrow. I highly doubt that's happening. But if this pressure keeps up, we have significantly further to drop. But we are at an area to where there could be some potential support in this market to possibly form a bottom here. Now, volume has skyrocketed like it always does, but only to the downside. Only to the downside does it ever skyrocket. Again, here we are. Like, I've talked about this in my prior videos as well too, that at one point we're going to get hammered, and I think we're going to get hammered to a level that no one's expecting. Something that we have not seen in the past, creating more of what's called like a bloodbath phase, to where a lot of these alts get stomped out. I don't know if we're there yet. The only way we're going to know is when we're in it, and it just happens. Like if we drop another 1,000 points and we start entering into the 4,000 zones, there's no doubt we are in the bloodbath phase. And in that phase, you better expect a large majority of these alts to go to zero and never exist again. It will happen in this market. There's too many alts out there. There will be a consolidation of power if cryptocurrency is to survive. Like I said in my videos, I don't care if you think I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatever you want to call it, but the banking cartel will crush this freaking market until everyone is squeezed out, even other big players, even people who founded the coins, even people who are friends of people who founded the coins and want to ride or die in these assets. They will be squeezed out, and they do not understand the psychological torture that they will have to go through in order to hang on to these. And even these long-term investors, the people dreaming of the Lamborghinis on the dark side of the moon that now have so much dust there's not even a Lamborghini anymore. It's probably just a sign that a Martian put up that says Lamborghini is here, dig. And I don't mean to like make fun of anybody, but I have talked about the dark cloud overlooming this market. I talked about the bearish divergence ever since we started making those higher lows, And I know a lot of people think I'm an a-hole for talking about it, and they're like, you're just so bearish and blah, blah. But it's just the nature of this beast. So, and I could see it all lining up. Unfortunately, I did not short this at all, but it is what it is. I didn't make any money, but I sure as heck didn't lose a nice haircut of over 10% or more if you're in the alt. So Again, a very significant move to the downside, but there's a lot of pressure in this market. And if we take this area out and we drop into the next major level of support in this low, like 4,300 area, you are going to see the bloodbath phase begin in this market, and it's going to be brutal beyond anything I could even explain to you. It's only something that you would have to witness to really understand the brutality of it. Now, I'm not saying that we're in that phase, but there clearly is a giant dark cloud overlooming in this market, and that every single pump has been dumped into, and the new volume that comes in gets immediately washed back out, just like you would see in a pump and dump. There's no regulation. People are happy about that, but understand it's the wild, wild west for the cartel, and they got more money than you, and they know how to manipulate price, and this is what they've done forever. I mean, for longer than I'm sure most of the viewers on this video have been alive, and your parents, and probably your grandparents as well too, but beyond all of that. So anyways, I only say that because I talk in a very bearish tone on this market, and there's still trades to be had in this market, but things were lining up, and I showed everyone this chart. I showed everyone the divergence. We're in a very oversold territory to where we could produce a relief rally, possibly forming this bottom right within this area right here, and from there potentially producing a rally back up. But the idea of us being in that horizontal normalization phase, like I said in my prior videos for anyone following along, that's out the window. We just reset. We just got hit with the reset button right here. So it's going to still have to undergo horizontal consolidation in the future, and it looks like the volatility is going to be here, but I imagine the moves back up are going to look something more like this crazy choppiness versus what Bitcoin used to look like when it would produce these mega rallies out of these bottoms and continue up. I think there was a lot more hype here. The environment has definitely changed. The retail traders are being whipped out left and right and left and right, and the numbers of retail traders are dwindling by the days. I mean, it's become a very difficult market to trade, and even for myself, trying to call this market and talk about it on a daily basis gets very tough. And a lot of it's been really repetitive, but we've seen so much volatility recently that this has led to a very powerful move. And I said it would, even with inside the symmetrical triangle. At the end of the day, we had a massive consolidation that I drew in my prior videos as well too. And there's a lot of energy building up. And if this area right here doesn't act as like tar slowing us down, then we're just going to shoot through it and continue down and have a serious free fall, which could easily be another 1,300 points from here. Now, I want to say the probability of that is low, okay? And I'm not saying run out there and buy this market right here at this level, right? I would suggest that anyone, it's not investment advice, but just remain patient and at least wait for a floor instead of trying to catch a falling knife and burning your account and just whipsawing yourself around and going through psychological torture. You don't need to at this moment. But if we cannot hold up there at that level, we are in for a serious dip. But again, that probability I do think is much lower at this moment due to the significant drop we just experienced. So hopefully all this makes sense to everybody. If you do like the video, you like the content, like, comment, subscribe, follow. I thank everybody for their time and support. I will do another video on Friday. I do imagine if we're going to have some form of a relief rally like we've had in the past where we have these waterfall events before a weekend, that relief rally will more than likely come over the weekend, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be the bottom of this market whatsoever. I think we're kind of in this repetitive pattern, and again, you have to be very sorry, that's my 3-year-old sons. But you have to be very nimble in this market, and you have to have a sound investment strategy, and you have to be willing to use your stops to mitigate your risk, or you could suffer what is happening now. And if we are entering that bloodbath phase, again, this could get so much worse beyond anyone's expectations right now. Like I said, the next major level of support, not trying to repeat myself, but just really emphasize this, that if we cut through this, we are more than likely going to see the low 4,000 range as just another stopping area. And if that doesn't hold up, then I don't even know, honestly, at that point. At that point, it's beyond technical analysis, as something else could be happening in the market if we drop below there. So normally Bitcoin does not drop significantly below a prior low, and we just eclipsed the 5750 bottom. So if we can hold up here, it should be good. If we don't, obviously it's very bad. So I'll do another video on Friday, and I hope everybody has a great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world.